Hello. My name is Tia Harrell, and my pen name is TMH Writer. And I have here with me one of my ARC members, Angie, and my beta reader, Donna Williams. And we're going to talk about my latest book that just came out yesterday called Fatal Betrayal. This is the continuation of Dangerously Betrayed, where Terri and Aaron and Maya, new character, were kidnapped by Caruso and Bale. And in this book, we learned about Bale. Bale is Caruso's right-hand guy. So Caruso actually took Bale in when he was a youngster, and he groomed him to be his guy. So Bale had a little crush on Maya, and that's how she got involved. Well, that's not how she got involved, but that's why she was originally kidnapped, because of a misunderstanding. But puppy love confuses you a lot of times. So you get to read about that in this new book. So without further ado, if there's any questions or comments, go ahead, ladies.
Okay. I totally enjoyed the book. I thought it was a little twist with the Maya character. I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't bought it and read it yet, but that was quite an interesting twist. I liked it though. Okay. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that.
Okay. Yeah, because the last video, I know we talked a lot about Aaron and who's this Maya character, and
right.
Ted didn't say anything about it, and all that drama gets answered in this book.
Yes, it does.
And I loved it when y'all were talking about it last time, because I was tickled. I was like, yeah.
Right, because how does some strange woman come on the scene talking about this is his ex?
Right.
Ex? What do you mean ex? I've never heard about her. I mean, come on. And so we also got to see Aaron step to Ted. We got to see Terri step to Aaron.
Check her.
I was loving it.
Yeah.
She's not my favorite character anyway.
Right. But she's mine. But
not Terri. I'm talking about Aaron.
Oh, Aaron.
Yeah.
She's one of mine, but Aaron was foul. And so she was wrong all the way. And it wasn't Ed's fault that Terri got kidnapped. It was Aaron's. Aaron is responsible for all of it. So that's why, Ed felt bad. But the thing is, they did put to bed Gabriel and his team. They eliminated or arrested all of them. So they see this threat coming. And but again, Ed and his all of his training should have actually told him that they may be victims because they're so high profile. But it didn't happen.
Relax.
Yeah, you can't relax. It didn't happen before. But I mean, CJ, he's rich, and Freddie's background, it's not cloud, it's not clear, it's not good, it's not his fault. But Freddie did a lot of stuff when he was a youngster just to survive. So it's been years, it's been decades, but some people hold on to grudges forever. Yeah,
that is true.
And it's amazing. You done went on with your life and had a wife and got grandkids, and something comes back. Right. And he still doesn't understand. He doesn't truly understand the ramifications of Caruso coming back, but they will. Right. They will. And you'll see how they deal with that.
Right. Yeah, because
Donna, I thought about you when I read the book, because I know you said if you were Aaron, as soon as you get back, oh no, I'm gonna ask, who is this woman? Remember that?
Right.
And I told you, and I said, don't do it, because it's gonna play out, because he's gonna start talking, and then come to find out it was actually completely innocent.
Exactly. Right. And that's the twist that I liked.
That's the twist. It was innocent.
Yeah, that was good. It was real good. I have some my feelings for Erin are mixed. I'm glad that she and Ted are together, but they were kind of mixed. Because I would never go after someone whose heart is committed to somebody else, but that's neither here nor there. Um, but the fact that she would withhold that information and put everyone in
Yeah.
jeopardy,
Yeah.
that was such
Yeah.
a bonehead decision by someone who has been billed as very intelligent and down for Terry and all these other things. She was supposed to be all of that, as we've been told over and over again in the series. And
Yeah.
then for her to get here,
Yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
when this dude asked for $10 million,
Mm,
you should have known that this
Mm-hmm.
was not some, okay, he just asked me for some money. It's not like he asked you for
Right.
$20.
yeah.
He didn't
Right.
ask you for $1,000. So if
Right.
he asked you for
Right.
10 million,
Yeah.
you should have, your antennas, your mother wit, your intuition, something
Mm,
should have sparked you and said, oh no, I got to
yeah.
tell someone about this.
Yeah, but the thing is, they were dealing in millions when they were, when they were designing the restaurant. So
Mm-hmm.
the money didn't alert her because he was he was a millionaire at one time. So that money, she knew he probably did owe it because during the crash he lost everything, and then he's a gambler. And then to speak to her intelligence ain't got nothing with your heart though. Once
Yeah.
once your heart is involved or you've
But
been
her heart shouldn't have been involved with him.
She shouldn't have took. She should have told
Her
him there's nothing we need to discuss. And if you do
exactly, and
decide that
hung
you
up the
want to go
phone.
see him, if
right.
you decide you want to go see
But
him, you should have told Terry. If no, even if you didn't say I don't want to tell
yeah,
Terry,
Right.
you should have said, hey
yeah,
Terry, guess who's calling me? Why is this dude calling me?
Yes,
yeah.
You
But
should have
she
said
didn't.
something because yeah, you put her
that's
in
what best
danger.
friends do.
But she
Yeah.
didn't want to
Yeah.
say anything because she was excited about the concert. So she didn't want
Yeah.
nothing to ruin
Nah,
the
boo.
concert. Yes.
Mm-mm.
And I mean this is Erin, and sometimes she doesn't think clearly, especially when and she's pregnant too. So she doesn't think clearly sometimes when it comes to the heart
She's
matter.
not pregnant, is she? She just had the baby. Or
Oops.
see,
Oh
they have
wow.
2 kids, so she's getting ready to have
Spoiler,
a third.
spoiler alert. Anyway,
Okay, so she's got 2 and getting ready to have a third.
they never have two. I mean, they never have three,
Well,
but
they
Yeah, they had
talked
to.
about
Yeah.
having a boy and a girl in the book.
they do have a boy and a girl. That doesn't
That's
mean you can't
2.
have more.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So they got 2, so she's pregnant with the third.
Yes.
Uh,
Well,
Yeah. Okay.
okay. So
spoiler
she is
alert.
trying to keep up with Terry then. Because
Yeah,
But
Ted made
even
that
if
remark.
yeah. I mean,
even if it's
kinda.
horm-
I mean, they're best friends, so they try to do everything
yeah.
together. So they
Nah, boo.
trying to keep it up.
I've had best friends. I wasn't trying to get pregnant because they got pregnant.
Well, you know how people are. I mean,
Goodness gracious.
it's
She needs to
not.
get a life. Goodness.
Ooh, she has a
I
life.
know, but you still trying to piggyback off of a best friend and you in your 30s? God,
It's
what
it's
kids do.
it's just something, they're partners, and they're not really trying to keep up with them, but it's nice to have your kids, grow up together. So it's just one of those things.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
If you say so, mama.
In my world.
Yeah, it was good. It was fast paced. Like I said, I thoroughly enjoyed the new Maya character. I enjoyed Ed meeting someone. Um, I thought that was special
Mhm.
because once I saw his picture, or the pictures of the characters, I was like, "Good God!" Whew.
Have you
So
seen Maya?
yes, beautiful. All the women in there is better looking than Aaron, but nobody is
Yeah,
as honey, let me tell you who first. I ain't gonna even go. You already know. Anne and Joyce, goodness. Mm,
Erin
okay.
is beautiful. You just don't know.
Yeah, I mean, she's cute. There's a difference
No,
between
she's
being
beautiful.
cute and beautiful. She's
Beautiful.
cute.
She's beautiful.
Mm,
You just
mm-mm,
you just have bias. I think we
mm.
lost Angie. Hopefully she's able to join us again.
Yes,
But
Yeah, I'm still here. It looks like
oh,
your camera went
my
off.
yeah,
Oh,
because
okay.
I can still
okay.
hear you guys. So
Okay.
Okay.
yeah, yeah, my
Yeah.
camera went out and my Bluetooth went out, and I'm
Oh
like,
my
oh Lord.
God, that happened to me
And,
last time.
and
Right.
look, and I'm looking for a Bluetooth, and I'm like, okay, now where's my backup here? And so of course I don't have anything handy, so I'm like, okay, so let me see
Okay.
if I can get me some video back at least.
Oh yeah. Or you
There we
can talk
go.
too.
Yeah, so I'm like, wow, okay. You guys have to, like I said, I'm living in disarray right now, so
Okay.
sorry about that. Yeah, so
It's
but
Well,
I can hear you.
good. It's good.
well, we got the second book of the Dark Cloud series.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, I also finished the Faux Terry series, the um the one with Sean. I started that one. That was really, really good. And
Yeah.
the start of Grandma's story.
Mm.
Yeah, that was real good. I was like, okay. So I got
Yeah.
all these storylines going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, folk, if
Really
you
good.
don't know what we're talking about in the series, This Love is Real, there's lots and lots of characters. And Tia has written stories and Kindle Villa stories with a bunch of these characters. And so you really would do yourself justice to go out and purchase all of the stories. They're really good.
They all intertwine, and I
Yep.
do drop goose eggs within the Kindle Villas that aren't in the books. So you
Right.
might
Right.
be wondering about something and it
Hmm.
pops up, especially when the stranger in the mirror.
Right. The
I
folk
do
Terry.
drop a lot of, yeah, I do drop a lot of goose eggs because you get to see Terry's life through somebody else's eyes. So
Hmm.
that's why I'm so excited about it, because as she discovers who Terry was, so does the readers, because you didn't
Hmm.
really get to see Terry, what she was doing as an artist, but you will with Faux Terry, because she
Hmm.
has to build up, that reputation. Terry already had it. And so she's kind of working in her shadows, because people want to
Hmm.
see Terry. They don't want to hear a raspier, rockier person. That's not who her
Right.
audience
Hmm.
was. So Faux Terry has
Hmm.
to build her own audience. Then,
Correct.
what happens when Terry, if she ever regains her memory, when she steps into Faux Terry's fans, will they like Terry instead of
Hmm.
Terry? Or does Terry kind of change her sound a bit to address both of her audiences? So
Right.
I'm pretty excited to delve into that, because we know what happens in the books, but with the Kindle Villa, I'm just showing a little bit more of
Hmm.
what happened during that year, because a year is a long time.
Right. To not have your memory.
Yeah.
I also enjoyed the Origins book too.
Mm.
Once the China trip happened, I was fine. Up until then, I was pissed. I'll just put it out there.
Well, let's talk about that. Why were
Oh
you
my
so
God. You know, I don't, I hated the fact that, there was all of this uncertainty. I love you, but I love you, but I can have sex with you, but I can't have sex with you because I love you and I don't want to lose you. But I love
Yeah.
you, but it's all right for me to have sex with you. And for
Yeah.
Mike, and I love you too. And it just felt to me that when they talked about, and when you talked about her being this heartbreaker in the book, yes, that's what I saw her. I saw her dangle and play with the emotions of people, whether it was Ted, Mike, Aaron, and then in some degree Sonia, because she knew she was hurting her. She
A lot
knew.
of degree, it was Sonya. A lot
Y-
of degree.
Yeah. And Sonia stood by her and allowed 10 years of this dangling and stringing her along to occur. Um, and I resented Terry for that. And I
Mm,
resented Aaron for thinking that you could just come in between this love just because you wanted it. That was pretty selfish. And in my mind, you
yeah.
just don't cross the line.
The thing is, Terry and Sonia had an agreement that they wouldn't have a relationship until she finished her residency. Bottom
Mm-hmm.
line. Bottom line. So Terry was free to do whatever, and so was Sonia. So Terry and Aaron, their relationship evolved. So they worked together, they went to school together, they lived together. So that bond grew over time. It wasn't just like it was, they just wanted to have sex or anything. I mean, they are true partners. They have a kinship. And Aaron didn't know, Aaron doesn't know what love is. When Paul, didn't treat her right. Aaron grew up in a foster home and in shelters. She didn't know what love was. So when Terry showed her any act of kindness, I mean, any act, she wanted her to come to Colorado. She wanted her to room with her. She wanted her to get her education. I mean, she just adored Terry. Why wouldn't she fall in love with her?
And why would
Irregardless,
Terry take advantage of that,
Terry didn't
knowing
take advantage of that.
knowing that she was in love
Terry,
with Sonia?
Terry didn't take advantage of that.
Okay.
Again, they had an agreement, right?
Okay.
I blame Sonia.
Okay.
Sonia should have never agreed to that agreement. And Sonia put
True.
her foot down eventually, but she was young. She didn't understand, she was so excited about moving to Seattle and starting, medical school, and Terry threw out, hey, yeah, I'll get with you, but not till after your residency.
Yeah, but when you're young and you're in love and
Yeah,
you are insecure in that
yeah,
love, you will kind of do whatever you can do,
exactly.
to try to keep this person,
Exactly.
even to your own detriment.
That's what happened.
But when you love a person, you don't allow that to happen. You
But you
don't
know what
do it.
though? You know what? And remember, Sonia's grandmother came to Terry also, and basically saying, "Hey, listen, Sonia has a lot on her plate." I'm not saying she discouraged Terry a lot, but she put her 2 cents in,
Yeah.
and I think I agree with me. I'm split down the middle
Mm,
because I think a lot of it was, even though Sonia, they made this agreement, but I to me, yes, Sonia is a lot to blame, but it also too, you got to put it on Terry because Terry
Mhm.
wanted her cake and eat it too in so many of these
Yes.
instances, regardless of the pact that they made and everything. Because even though you telling Aaron, you telling Mike, you telling everybody, well, Sonia is my one. This is my soulmate. I mean, come on now. Those are things that,
Right.
you don't say about your friend or your best friend that is a
Right.
soulmate or anything like that, or this the one, or I don't want to sleep with you because it will um ruin the friendship. But then yet you didn't care enough about the friendship with Aaron because you just kept falling into bed with her. So when you
Right.
look at it, you have to see it from both sides. And
yeah.
like I said, I'm Team Sonia, but I am not opposed to Terry as I was in the beginning
Yeah.
because of the fact that I saw Terry with her background and everything that she had been through. She was reckless, and
Mm,
you see a
Yeah.
lot of that
Yeah.
that happened. She was reckless. She was very,
Yes.
very reckless, and a lot of that showed in the things that she did and how she treated everybody around her.
That's
mm,
true.
And it's like how you say, okay, I'm gonna be in, but I'm not gonna be in all the way.
mm.
And I love you, but I love Sonya. Sonya's my one. See, all when you saying stuff like that, and so it's all of them. And then you got, like you say, with the age, you're young. Even though some people still more mature and they know what time it is, but
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
it's
And she was scared. The thing is, Terri
yeah.
was flawed and scared, and
Hmm.
she just didn't trust that if she got with Sonia, they could make it work, especially because Sonia was becoming a doctor. And Sonia always had to focus. I mean, she would be working 24 to 36 hours. How would she be able to put into a relationship, you know, when she had to focus on her medical career? And Terri knew because, of course, Granny talked to Terri. You
Yeah.
know, they had a
Yeah.
good relation. I'll say they had a good relationship because she looked up to her and she admired her granny because of how she stood up for Sonia. And so they had talks about Sonia because Terri truly cared about Sonia, and she always wanted her to become a doctor. She wanted her to follow her dreams, and she was supportive of that. And she never ever stood in her way, and she didn't want to. So she was just navigating life being a flawed person. You know, she had a lot of trauma. I mean, look what happened in North Carolina. That was very traumatic. So somebody can't be mentally healthy walking through life and have that kind of trauma. She's not gonna, she doesn't know how to love somebody because of how she was treated and how she lost her parents, and how, James, not only did he rape her, but he left her in a foreign country without any way to get home. I mean, but that's damaging. And then to see him again, with the person who told lies about her, and they have a child, and they're married, and they're flourishing, that's damning for Terri. And so she fought her way back with therapy, with learning how to love. When she saw, the way Joyce and Freddie loved, and then how her birth parents loved, she kind of started learning how to love Sonia. And so she started to come around, but she still went to therapy. She still worked on herself, and she's definitely a flawed person, and she didn't play with anybody. I mean, you're going to gravitate towards somebody who shows you love when you've been hurt. Her and Aaron were partners. Her and Mike were partners. I mean, they worked together. They did a lot of stuff together, and she was scared and confused. So it wasn't until she became mentally healthy is when she stood up and became the woman that I knew her to be, because she had to get there. So her journey is very traumatic for everyone,
But
but
but I still think that what Terri did, and maybe not fully aware what she was doing
right.
or whatever, she kept stringing Sonia along.
It was
all
never
this
with
time.
malice, though. That's the thing.
I don't right, and I would accept that, but I think part of it knew that it's like, okay, you know how you meet this person, you say, well, actually I like you, but I'm in a different place now, and I know that this is who I can be my best me, my
Right.
best self with, but I'm not gonna mess it up, but I'm gonna keep it around and keep just enough to keep that person from just leaving me alone completely. I'm just gonna
Yep.
keep giving you just enough, and whether it's intentional or not. And I think that was a lot of it that Terri
Right.
was doing and showing it, because she did not want to lose that what she was building, and just in case when I do, you know, get myself together, when I am no longer afraid to step forward or do whatever, because people go to school all the time, and doctors, nurses,
Mm-hmm.
preachers, and people still hook up, but
Mm-hmm.
I still think that
And people get
people like
divorced.
Yeah, but there
well,
are
yeah.
people, the way she supported her in residency,
Mm-hmm.
long distance, while she was building,
Mhm.
when she got that building and did her bistro and did
Mhm.
her singing, it's the same way she could have been supporting her all along. She just didn't do
Yeah.
it. She chose
She
differently.
no, she didn't chose differently. She learned how to do it. I mean, this isn't something she knew how to do. I mean,
Yeah. And that's why I agree with you on. I agree with you as they got a little older,
yeah,
experienced a little bit more of life, that
yeah,
they, but but then I also put so much of it on son. You should have been like, listen, hey, because the thing is, you should have been out there living your best life whenever you could, but you didn't do it.
She
So,
was. No, she did. She
no,
focused on
not like
becoming a
that.
doctor. I mean, she
Not like,
was a world-class
yeah.
surgeon. I mean, I don't know. When I was
But
in
certain,
school,
if you
I was, I
go
was
ahead,
top of my class and I focused on school. And so I couldn't imagine when I was in my doctorate program. I mean, I had to schedule my husband on Fridays because during the week, there is no way we could have done anything. And I wasn't becoming a medical doctor. So, I mean, I don't know. I couldn't see, her becoming the doctor that she wanted to be and have the relationship she wanted with Terri. I mean, they had time. I mean, they had time. Terri wanted to chase her dreams, and it wasn't where Sonia was. Sonia was in Seattle. Terri was in New York. I mean, I mean, that's why it's called coming. The second book is called Coming of
right,
Age, because this is
yeah,
their time,
absolutely,
that they followed their dreams and soared their oats and did whatever they had to do. But fast forward to the Dark Cloud series, and they're where they're supposed to be. And Terri is the
right,
loving wife and the businesswoman that, I knew who
right,
she was. And I mean, she's come a long way. And so
yeah,
that's why I loved her journey, but it was a journey, and it
yeah.
wasn't a nice one. But sometimes,
No, it wasn't. No,
you got to be shaped, and that journey isn't, pretty.
Mm-hmm.
that's
So
true. It wasn't. It wasn't. You're right. It's the journey and everything. And like you say, Sonia also had a say so in it.
mhm,
She could have just said, "Hey, listen, I tell you what, we're just going to keep this strictly whatever," like she did.
she did.
But then
Mm-hmm.
and I think too it was a lot of miscommunication that was
Mhm,
going on too.
mhm.
So and but like you say, you young, you live, you learn, and you can tell, you can see them grow,
Yeah.
and then everything started to change, and as you start,
Mm-hmm.
and if we all look back, you know, most people, they do. Um, you don't start off just, hey, this is the one. And some people do, but a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people have to go through that to get to where they were. So that's why I sort of, like I said, softened up on Terri, because I know in the beginning I was like, what? But no, I did, because I looked at the bigger picture. So sorry, Donna.
Yeah, I'm still Team Sonia, and I do believe that Sonia it should have put her foot down earlier.
Mm,
She should have created some type of boundaries
mhm,
around this.
mhm.
She didn't, but I also think that Terri knew that Sonia loved her, and she took advantage of that and did sow her wild oats.
I don't
And
think
and
she took
every time
advantage
she
of her.
thought she was, she threw crumbs at her. I'll go see her when I have time. I'm too busy to do our, normal birthdays together. But I'm gonna come in here. I'll talk to you next weekend after I'm done busy. Done being busy. You
She
know,
was working on a project and had a boss. I mean,
you, you
people
know,
can't just fly and do
nobody
whatever
works
they want.
24 hours a day.
When you're building a construction, when you're
When you
building a
love
building,
someone, you
sometimes,
will
well,
make time. There's a difference
sometimes,
between
nah,
having time and making time.
well, I mean,
You make
she,
time for the people you love.
she was helping, them build a building, and they were in construction, and she
But
was doing research. This is
but
her first
business is
couple of
not
years.
more important than love.
Not when
Even
you're that
even if
young, not when
even if I
you're
had to
still young.
call and
They're
just leave
still
a
young.
message on the phone, I'm gonna do that. But to not hear or talk to somebody for months,
They never said that. She just never said
Right,
her, but
right.
they did talk. I mean, they FaceTime, they talked throughout the years, but they just didn't have their birthdays. I mean, when you first join a company and you guys are building on something, you don't have all the time. You don't have the time to
But
do
you know
what
what?
you used to do.
But you know what? Also, too, I look at it like this. Even though they both were pursuing their careers, doing their own thing,
Mhm.
you know, if you look at Sonya and where Sonya comes from and how she was raised. And you can tell that we're going to get the backstory on that. But then you look at Terri. Not saying that she was raised any different, but it's your upbringing predetermines sometimes on how you act, how you interact with others. So whereas Sonya was more patient and loving, she had Granny, she had that one that she knew no matter what. And she knew her mom wasn't too keen on her in this situation, but her Granny and her dad was. But then you go to Terri, when her aunt or who she thought was her mom died, who did she have? So that's why I'm giving Terri a little bit more, leeway because I'm looking at where she came from and how she grew up and then all the other things that happened to her. Terri didn't really have a whole lot of stability, after a certain point when everything went downhill. But, Sonya still was in the same thing. She knew what she wanted. Terri went through 45 careers, different things that she did. So it was so much difference that was there. And, they blend together because they complement each other's weaknesses. So I see them being okay, and it makes sense to me why they went through that the struggle. Because maybe if they, like you said, maybe if they had hooked up and didn't go through all of that, well, Terri especially, then it may not have worked. Who knows? It may have. But I understand about the time you have to make time and everything, and that's true. But you also 21 years old, 18, 19 years old. We're looking at it now, where we are now. But can you really reflect back to when you were that age and say, hey, I was determined to do that? Because we got to remember, these is how these people were at that time. They were so young.
They were young.
And so we're saying it now because we're past 21, barely, but we passed 21. So I mean, that's the difference, and that's what I'm trying to read these stories, especially back when they're before, and not read it from where I am right now, but read it from when I was that age.
Yeah, but it all comes around during the Dark Cloud series.
Oh yeah,
and you get to see their relationship, especially in the new book. You get to see how Sonya is supportive of Terri, and she's her person, and so you'll get to see that more and more in these books because Terri always puts on a brave face, but Sonya knows that she's terrified. Terri is terrified for her family, for her kids. She's terrified for her friends. Somebody wants to kill them, literally. And they don't even know about the plot against the kids.
Right, exactly.
Because it hasn't been said that Caruso and his team just said that, but they have no idea how dangerous that gang of people are.
Ed fell asleep at the wheel, people. He did. I mean, I'm thinking, Ed, really? All this time through all of the memory, you were right there, but how did you just? It's like, and I know that it has to be that way to make the book what it is, but he kind of slipped a little bit. It was like you guys didn't see this coming, and I don't know. Maybe I don't know what it was going on with his mind because he hadn't seen no girl yet. So I don't know what it was, but
how would he have though? Honestly, how would have Ed been able to see this coming? The guys,
I don't know. It's just something about it. There's something about it to me that is.
This came from Aaron. He didn't. He wasn't Aaron's bodyguard. He wasn't watching over Aaron. So this came from Aaron. Aaron was the bad seed. And the way the robbers got into Terry's apartment, I mean, they got into somebody. I mean, it was some spy stuff. And
right. But you know what? Remember that when I think this is what I'm pointing to in the story. When he said, when she said, "Oh, go, we'll be okay. I'll be okay." Ed, everything that he has shown up until this point, even if she had said that he still wouldn't.
That was Freddie's fault. That was
Freddie's fault.
Ed left.
Elle would have been outside.
I mean, no, not when she was in her loft. I mean, and
he'd have been around somewhere.
Ed thought her parents were going to stay there with her, and they didn't. So that was, them living life, but the thing is, Ed, I won't say he slipped. I just think he was ill prepared. I just think he didn't recognize they could have been. He didn't recognize the threat. And until something happens, you can't always understand the threat until something happens, and then you harden your security and you tighten up and you fix the problem, because nobody.
But being that Aaron was gone, that would have been enough, a hint and a half for me right there to say, no, I'm not leaving you guys. I don't care what you say. And even if you leave,
but they didn't know it had anything to do with Terri. This was all about Aaron.
Yeah, but I would have erred on the side of caution.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I would have. Yeah.
I mean, he did. He did. Look at her loft. He did. Have guys downstairs. But the thing is, it happened on the 3rd floor. People downstairs is not going to, be able to see somebody in the next door loft, break the glass and come into somebody's apartment, even if you are downstairs. I mean, if you look at it, Caruso and his team are very good. They're as good as Ed and them. And so they were able to, steal Terri because of who they are. And Ed, they have to go up against somebody who's as good as he is. And so, he's got to up his game. And in the 3rd book, you'll see what Ed and him do. I mean, there's an issue with that loft, because it used to be Aaron's loft, but this loft, she sold it to an unknown person years ago, and so they rented it out. So they got to deal with that. What are they going to do with that loft now that they know it's a security threat? They got to harden that. Although they're not in New York all the time. Yeah, and again, they live in San Diego. They don't live in New York. So there is that too. So, let's see how tight their security is in San Diego, where they actually live, see. But, your security is only as good as your best person. I mean, there's always weak links and lazy people, and you're not paying them that much. I mean, what can you do when you have a team of people and they're not as focused as you are? It's not necessarily his fault. A leader is only as good as his weakest link. What happens, you get to see what happens on a team when not everybody is focused. Not everybody, wants the same goals or has the same goals. So there's
a mole in his camp.
Well, it was the listening the device that they had implanted in Aaron.
Spoiler alert. That's just one thing though. I can't imagine they only use one method of spying on them, but yeah, that's why I'm excited about this series, because we get to delve in to see, what happens when there is a security threat, or what happens when somebody wants to kill you and you kill them, but what about their loved ones? I mean, when you fix one problem, you may open the can of worms to another problem. And so that's what we get to see.
Yeah, but they didn't have any intention on killing them. Caruso wouldn't surrender. He wouldn't surrender, so they didn't, and he started shooting at them. They didn't have a choice but to shoot back.
But Caruso was hell bent on killing them, though.
Right.
So yeah, and we get to see in book 3 who was rolling with Caruso at the end of the book. But
as long as it wasn't Pete and Maya, I'm good.
See.
or Andre.
You think Andre's a mole?
No, I said as
Oh.
long as it's not Andre or Pete, because Terry really likes Pete.
Oh,
Okay.
Pete's not a mole.
Huh?
Pete's Ed's right hand man. I hope he's
Right.
not a mole.
And-
that would be something.
oh my God. Yeah, it would.
That would be something. But you know, at the end of the book where Caruso went over to Maya, he had somebody with him. So we'll get
Right.
to see who was with Caruso.
Wasn't that Brad or the tech guy that was with him?
No.
Oh, okay. He was unidentified, you know.
Yeah, exactly. So we get to see who that was, but who do you think it was?
I don't. You know, it could be anybody.
You said
But
someone
I
from
got an
Terry's
idea,
camp?
No.
but I would have to think on it.
Caruso
Because I thought about it
went
when
over
I
Maya
read
with
it.
somebody.
Right, but it was a mole that was in Terry's camp.
Yeah,
So
it wasn't the mole that was with
No.
Caruso when he went
who do I think it was?
yeah, who do you think it was? Who was with Caruso? The two of them went to get Maya.
Well, Paul was dead, so it wasn't him. And nobody from Terry's camp. There weren't too many people that were identified.
There was somebody identified. There's a few people. There's a few people. There's a few people in Caruso's camp identified.
I can't remember right now. I was thinking, I know it was the tech guy. His name was Brad or something.
Brad is the tech guy.
Right. And all I ever heard was Caruso
and
not Andy. No, the one who died, who gave him up.
Uh-huh.
I can't remember his name right now either, but he died too.
Yeah, he's dead, but somebody's alive for now.
There's somebody else that was identified in the book that didn't die.
Yeah.
I'll have to go back through and read it now.
Right,
I know, right?
Bell.
Yes. Right.
That's right.
Right, because he knew where Maya lived.
Yeah, Maya was his crush.
Right. Oh wow.
He was the one who kidnapped Maya originally.
But how was he a mole in Terry's
He's
camp?
not a man. No, I didn't say he was a mole.
Oh, okay.
I said him and Caruso were to go get Maya at the end of the book, and he tried to get away, remember?
Right. So now Belle and Brad and Pablo is gonna work together.
Pablo and his merry men
of misfits and criminals.
Pablo is way more ruthless than Caruso. That's older brother. So he's dealing in other things, international things. So
interesting.
Yeah. So
well, as long as the good guys win, I think I'm gonna be okay.
Well, I'm not promising the good guys will win.
Oh,
you can always win. You gotta throw one casualty out there, at least one or two.
I mean, some of Ed's guys got killed too.
They sure did.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Like I said, as long as Pete and Ed make it through,
promises.
I'm gonna be okay. At least
Ed. It's not gonna be Ed because you go see him in Maya's story. So Pete,
Ed and Maya's
collateral damage
stories. So
Pete can be collateral damage.
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah.
Pete. You don't like Pete's?
I like Pete. I like Pete, but I'm not invested in him.
You won't be sad if he was the one that got
killed? No, we can take that up as a loss. No, we're not invested that much for him.
Wow.
Not because we don't like him, it's that he's not connected to anyone other than being a bodyguard.
He's connected
initially with Terri.
He's connected to Terri. He's connected to Ed.
Right.
Pete and Terry
Baby
have a
girl.
very good, well, faux Terry and Pete got a real good relationship, but
That's what I'm saying. So Kick Rock's
yeah.
Pete.
Right.
You
Right.
knew she was
I'm
not
okay with
who
Pete
she's
going.
supposed to be, and yeah, and you still tried to push up. No, let
No,
Pete go.
he never tried to push up on her.
What I mean, he
Andre
was
did.
kind of
I
yeah
Pete did.
enamored.
Didn't he dance with her and all that?
who Pete?
Yeah.
No, yeah, Pete danced with her to get her out of an emotionally charged situation. So he was just looking out for her. But no, he just looks out for faux Terry because he understands what she's going through, you know.
Yeah.
Trying to find her way through life when everybody's telling her who she is and living in the shadow of a superstar. That can't be easy.
No.
A very loved superstar. So she's got a road to travel. She's got to figure it out. Or, you know, she's going to be leaning on CJ because CJ, you know, he's a mega star. And so that's what she wants to be. So in the next Stranger in the Mirror episode, you'll get to see her start to delve into music because she's, you know, she's very talented. So, well, Terry was too, but you'll get to see it through faux Terry.
Got it.
Which is exciting.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because in the books you find out Terry can play the guitar. She took guitar lessons
and
at
the piano.
therapy. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She always could play the piano, but she took guitar lessons when she was in therapy. So she used music to help her. So only Freddie knew that though.
Right.
Freddie was watching over her. He used to follow her, you know, because
Gangsta Fred.
Yeah. He ain't called Craig. I love it when Freddie has to call Craig because Freddie calls Craig. Craig's got the bureau, so he's a FBI and he has his contacts and he has his contacts in the streets.
Yes.
It would have been nice to find out what happened to James.
Maybe. Well, we know the FBI.
We know he's he's being investigated.
He's being investigated by the FBI, but you know, we might find out through the other villas because you know Craig is keeping a pulse on it. So we, you know, him, Ed, and Pete, they're going to build a security firm through Dark Clouds. From this, they build a company. So you'll see you'll see a series based on, you know, with their investigation. So which is going to be pretty exciting. So
okay.
Yeah.
I'm ready for that right there.
We get to learn more about Miss Maya, what Maya went to over the last 10 years.
Okay.
Right.
Has been, I don't want to, you know, spoiler alert, but you know, Maya isn't who people think she is. I mean, she's not bad, but you know, she's, you know,
there's more to her than what we just read. I kind of I picked up on that. I said, it's not as just you're not going to be squeaky clean. So it's okay. What's
no, it's nothing bad, not squeaky. It's nothing like that.
Well, yeah, it's something that I don't know if it's going to add a flair to her or take. I don't know. I don't think she's a criminal or nothing or something like that.
No. She's part of the good guys. She's not a criminal.
Yeah, right.
But the fact that she didn't want to stay at the house with them. She didn't want to stay at the house with them. She insisted on going home. She was not afraid to go home after all that happened.
Afraid to go home.
Right.
That's the first clue. I said, who
exactly. I was like, she ain't afraid.
She ain't afraid. I'm going home. Yeah.
Right. So who is Miss Maya? So we'll get to see some of that.
That's what I was picking up on. Yeah. Something else with her.
In the third book, we'll get to start to see who Maya is.
Okay.
And
do we get to see the blossoming love story between she and Ed?
Absolutely. They're the little romance in the Dark Cloud series.
Good. I can't wait to see what the first dinner was about. and where they went to dinner.
And where
You
they
know,
went.
right, because that kind of tells you what kind of guy, is he trying to impress you by doing something over the top? Or is he, kind of laid back and take you to somewhere fun? That
And it's
typically
not a laid back fun type of guy.
right, exactly. But is he gonna try to impress
He
her by
might.
doing something over the top?
He might, but his relationship with Maya is going to cause a problem with his team.
I believe it. I believe
But
it.
Because he's
again,
not he's
when
not
you
as
meet the
focused.
one, you
Yeah,
come out of character.
yeah.
So
He's not
he
as
may come out
yeah,
of character.
yeah. Oh yeah,
So,
he definitely does. And Pete's like, "What's going on? What the hell, dude?"
yeah, well,
That's in
sometimes your
that's in
buddies
the
are your
third
worst
book.
enemies when it comes to your love life
Yeah,
because there's a
yeah.
little bit of envy there as well. How can you be happy and I'm single?
No, it wasn't envy.
Mhm.
It's just Ed wasn't on his top of his game because his
Mhm.
focus was, divided between, security and Maya.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, we'll get to see that in the third
Okay,
book.
I'm
Okay.
looking forward to it. Definitely. Yes, ma'am. Looking forward to it.
And then your favorite character, Sean, and his
Right.
and his story.
Uh-huh. It's already good. It's very good. I was so glad she didn't lose that fight
Mm.
Mhm.
because
It,
that
it,
Cassandra
it, it
person,
was close.
I didn't like her from the minute the bell rang. I didn't like
Oh my God. Yeah, that because she beat Maya. She beat Nyasha
before.
a
Mhm.
couple of years ago. Yeah,
Right.
she beat her bad.
She didn't beat her this time though, did she?
Yeah, she hung that over her. So yeah.
But and by her being the champ and you gonna make demands and make sure the fight's in your home city and all that stuff. No, But she
Yeah.
got her.
She got her. Yeah,
Hmm.
she got her.
So I was really happy to read that for sure.
Now it's time for Nyasha to live a little. So
Yes.
let's see what her and Ed get into.
Her and Sean.
Yeah, sorry, her and Sean.
Yeah. And what kind of guy is he going to be with her? I mean, it's obvious they have this attraction for each other. But there is almost like they're from two different worlds.
They're from two different worlds, and she's a fighter and he doesn't condone fighting. So
Right.
how's
Exactly.
that gonna play out?
Exactly.
And one lives in San Diego and one lives in New York. So how is that?
Right. And is she gonna be willing over time to give up her career? Because we saw
What?
there's other,
Hey,
what?
excuse me, ladies. I apologize. I'm gonna have to log off. I got some more water just came through my house. I don't know where it's coming from, so I'm gonna log off. Thank you guys.
Thank
I'll
you,
watch
Angie.
it to review. All right. Talk to
Okay.
you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, it was the fact that one of my favorite fighters gave up her career to do something different with her life. Layla Ali.
Yeah.
I mean, she's beautiful and beautiful. And she gave it up, for her husband and kids. And her husband is an ex-football player. And so it's not like they, were poor or anything like that. And she also saw the risk because of her father, and what all of that traumatic brain injury could do. So I'm hoping that I'm sure there's going to be some tension there, but ultimately I'm hoping that she will recognize that she has much more to do than just fight. So, and I don't want Sean to have a broken heart. I like Sean. Okay, I like Sean. And I'm hoping that his heart doesn't get broken. I'm sure
But it's
he'll.
okay if he breaks hearts.
Well, has he ever broken anybody's heart? I haven't seen him with
Maybe.
anybody. I haven't even seen him
Maybe.
date anybody.
Maybe in North Carolina, you never know.
Yeah, that's true. But if he did, he was a kid then.
Oh, why does he get the kid pass, but Terry doesn't?
But he ain't stringing people along.
We
He's
don't
not
know that.
telling everybody
We
he
don't
meets,
know
I
that.
love you.
We don't know what he did in North Carolina.
Right, but no.
I mean, Michelle.
But we know what she did. I love
Michelle
you.
and
I
Dana
love you.
do.
I love you. I love you. I love
Now-
everybody. If you
Now,
love
I
me,
just
I
gonna
love
have to talk to Michelle and Dana to find out, what Sean was doing back in North Carolina, because they all grew up together.
Right. That's right. Hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yep. It'll be quite interesting.
Yeah, and so I'm going. It's going to be nice seeing him and Sonia talk about love. When he starts to fall
Yes.
in love, and he starts to truly understand what
Right.
true
Right.
love is, and sacrifices you have to make.
Right.
To be with the one you love. I mean, everybody makes sacrifices, and is
Sure.
that
But he should have told her the truth. He started out wrong when he lied to her. Yeah, I'm like, come on, Sean, this is your best friend. You can, if you
he didn't want to be teased.
you can confide in her.
Yeah, he does, but he didn't. He didn't want to be teased.
Mm-hmm.
Not yet.
Well, he was already getting teased because he didn't have any friends, and here he is, at a bar with the people, and they were like, "What?" Not the man who just works and goes home and only spends time with Sonia.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
mm-hmm.
That'll be fun to watch. I'm gonna have to get me some more tokens.
Oh boy.
Yeah. 500 at a time is not enough. I'm gonna have to keep them going.
Yeah, because there's three. There are three. What? No,
right.
4. Stranger in the Mirror, Thinking of You, Thinking of Your Love, One Like No Other, and I'm gonna pick up the
Egg Chronicles
ones. I mean, I know,
and the Dark Cloud. So there's 5.
Well, the Dark Clouds are the book series, though.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
I got to get the number 3 book ready.
That's right. Oh yeah, I can get that.
It'll come out in October, so I'm gonna try to have it come
next week.
Wow. Okay.
Right. October is next Saturday.
Well, in October.
Okay. All right. I'll look forward to it.
Because I'm excited to see, let you guys see how the story rolls out. And then how it spawns into a other series,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And I can't wait to get to the bottom of why Sonia's mother, responded the way she did.
We'll get to see that after I complete the Granny series. I'll start.
Oh, she's gonna have her own story.
Who?
Sonia's mother.
Yeah, she has her own. Yeah, we have to find out why she's so homophobic. So
right.
We have to find out why.
Sounds like she had a female in her life and got her heart broken.
No.
No? Okay.
No. But something did happen. Well, there was a reason why originally,
Okay.
Yeah, so you get to see why the father was so supportive. So,
okay.
Your story, which is
okay.
But her mom is very intelligent. Like Sonia's mom, her IQ, IQ was really high. She's smarter than Sonia, but she's really, really smart. So to see that.
Yeah, she's a renowned surgeon. You invited to conferences. You can tell that she's brilliant, and so is her dad.
Yeah. She's smarter than her dad, though.
I mean, but he seems to be very compassionate, at least from the. Oh no, that was his father. But just from the interaction, his dad seemed to be at the interaction at the school. He just seems like he's gonna be a good guy.
Yeah, Wilbur, he's a good guy. Yeah, him and Kenneth, they're 2 peas in a pod. So Kenneth does join the medical field.
I'm thinking, where do I hear that name Kenneth from? Does he show up somewhere else? Because that name just
No, that's my
okay.
husband's name.
Ah, that's
That's
what it
probably where you
was.
hear it from.
That's
Yeah.
what it was. I was wondering, I'm like, Kenneth, that name sounds familiar.
Sounds familiar. Yeah.
Right.
So,
Did I see this somewhere?
yeah, you saw somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're right.
he does join the medical field. So
Okay, good.
with Will,
Wilbert. Okay.
yeah,
So he has an ally.
he has an ally, and they team together.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I was
Good.
telling Angie before you came on, but what was happening with that series? But yeah,
Okay.
they team together and solve something, but
Okay.
it's detrimental in the end. So
Oh, for real?
yeah, yeah.
For Kenneth?
No, not for Kenneth, for Wilbert, but he's a coroner, so he investigates murders. So
Okay.
Wilbert recognized something on a victim, and so they work together to solve the mystery, but they got too close. I don't want to do spoiler alerts.
Right. Oh
Yeah,
no.
yeah. So
Okay. Because I'm thinking, okay, this is Granny's husband,
yeah,
which
this
is
is Granny.
which is why we never see Granny's
That's why
husband
you never see
in the
grandpa.
book.
Yeah, that's why
Right.
Sonia never met her grandfather.
Oh wow. And grandma never remarried.
No.
Wow.
She took care of Jonathan, and she took care of the clinics. So
Yeah. Wow. That's sad. Yeah. I wanted Granny to be happy. I wanted Granny.
Granny is happy. She's happy for a number of years, but
Mm-hmm.
her husband
Yeah.
is, you know,
He's just doing his job.
yeah. It wasn't really his job, but he was helping his buddy Ken. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, because Granny had a tough start. So I was, really hoping that.
She gets happiness,
Mm.
she gets and she's happy with her with her granny, with her grandkid,
Yeah.
Sonia, and
Yeah. She lives with her son. Well, no, she doesn't live with her son. She has her own place.
Well, she lives on the property.
Okay. Yeah.
She has a little cottage on the property because they have a big estate. So Jonathan and Sonia's mom's Miriam, they live in the big house where Granny lives on a cottage on the estate.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. And Sonia spends most of her time in the cottage. And at least when she gets older, because once her mom finds out she's gay, it's not a happy home for a while.
I bet.
Yeah.
And she hadn't left to go away to college yet, which is probably why she went across the country.
2,500 miles away. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's the main reason.
Wow. That's sad because with her potential, she could have went to any of the East Coast schools, Yale and Harvard and you name it.
She never would have met Terri.
True.
So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
True. So things kind of worked out in the end then, huh?
Yeah, things worked out in the end.
Okay.
Yeah, Sonia and Terri are very happy. They have kids. They're doing their medical mysteries. Well, we'll get to see that in Dark Cloud. And in Dark Cloud, we'll get to see why Erin becomes a stay-at-home mom eventually.
Okay.
Yeah. Because Dark Clouds is it gets pretty
hairy, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, when you are when your life is in danger and you've been shot at, you've been kidnapped, and you have price on your head, a price on your kids' heads, I can imagine that's a pretty stressful time.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very, very stressful, and they never feel safe. And that's a horrible feeling if
Yeah,
you never feel safe. And then if you have
sure.
a mole or you have somebody to infiltrate your team, I mean, not saying
Right.
what happened, but
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you
yeah,
you never feel safe. Your
right,
teammate can listen in on what you're doing, and they know where you're going and who's going with you. I mean, they can
right,
all kinds of
right,
stuff to catch you.
right.
Not that they catch you off guard, but they catch you and you have to be on the defense all the time. You always have to be ready.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to deal with that loft beside Terri, you know,
Okay.
see how they deal with it. They make sure the building is secure. Because T&E is on the second floor. And then you
Right.
have a building next door that's T&E. So and
And you got the
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 is on the
bistro.
bottom, and it's two buildings. So that's a lot of foot traffic. So
Right,
very, very hard to secure. But they live in San Diego. This was just an event that they were at in
right,
New York.
right.
So yeah,
Hmm.
Ed and his team have a big job to do, a big job to do to secure everything now that they know there's threats out there and
Sure.
there's possible threats. I think this was a wake-up call.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ed, he's having, eyes for Maya, and he's, feeling Maya. It's going to cause a conflict, and we'll see
Yeah.
how they deal with that. So
Hmm. Can't wait. Can't wait.
yeah. So any questions or any other?
Nope, I think we've pretty much settled it. We've talked about all the stories and brought the listeners up to date. They just need to go out and buy the series, all of them,
Absolutely.
and learn the characters and see how much texture they're being given over time.
Mm-hmm.
And so hopefully you'll begin to love them like we do.
Yeah, and you can go to my website, TMH Writer, and then when you click on books, the order of the books and the villas are on the website. So if you want to start, if you're just starting out with the series, you definitely want to read the origin series, because the origins is where it all starts, and you get to meet most of the characters and the origins, and then you get to see why
Mm-hmm.
Terri is so contentious. You get to see why we always go back and forth about Terri and Sonia.
Right.
And the reason Terri is my favorite character to write about.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And Sonia's my favorite person to love.
Yeah. I mean, I love Sonia. So
Yeah.
I love her. I love the person who she is. I mean, she's incredible. Anybody with that type of compassion, wow. She's
Mm-hmm. And
incredible.
unconditional love.
Unconditional. Well, Terri has unconditional love too. She just don't know how to. She had to learn how to show it. She had to learn Sonia's love language, but she knows Sonia's love language, and she learns it, and she definitely fills Sonia with joy. So we get to see that, especially in their medical mysteries. You'll start to see them older and them caring for their kids, and their kids growing up being ornery.
Okay.
Aiden is a mama's boy, so he's going to stick close to Terri for a long time, and then he doesn't. So that's
Okay.
heartbreaking for Terri, but we'll see. We'll see in the series.
Good. Good. I can't wait to see it.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you again for joining. It's always a pleasure. And
Absolutely.
until next time.
Keep
Bye.
reading and keep writing.
Oh, I'll try.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.